This is a Hot Pie Original.
Maybe this is fascinating to me because I'm a business nerd, and maybe someone's going to say, man, Ward, it's not that cool. I don't know that it's cool. I think it's significant, though. I think it's pretty fascinating. I think it's a fascinating cultural and business story. I mean, it really is. It is an important sign of the times. Look, we live in a time, I should say, where, for those that don't know, for many years, I've taught on a college campus. I've lectured in a marketing course for a number of years. So there are times, and I guess I'll warn you now, that I go off in sort of lecture mode. I go off into business nerd mode. So I'm not going to apologize. Just prepare yourself for that, because I think I'm about to slip into that space. But we've lived through this time where things that are created are adopted. The market penetration. Sorry. Usually the students giggle when I say market penetration, so go ahead and giggle. But the market penetration of stuff now is unlike any other time in history. You come up with an idea, it is adopted, it penetrates. If it's good, if it's adopted, it penetrates the market so fast. So I don't even know if we have an appreciation anymore for these significant moments of business, right? We're so used to something coming out, but TikTok would be an example. I despise TikTok, but it's a brilliant business idea. TikTok hits, it penetrates the entire market, and there it goes. What used to take 3 to 5 years to sort of work your way through the market now happens in 3 hours. So I'm not even sure we have full appreciation for full-on risk-taking, important moments. And I think this is kind of culture meets business meets gambling all in one move. I'm not a car nerd. Okay, so car nerds, you can probably pick this apart, but I think even car nerds are fascinated by this. And you can take this any number of ways. If you've been out of touch, you should know. And this is, I know car nerds know this already, and truck nerds probably know this already. This has been building for some time, but it's hit. And it's a roll of the dice, and it's a pretty fascinating story. So, the quintessential American car company, Ford, okay, has just rolled out an electric version of the quintessential American car, the vehicle, the truck, the Ford F-150. It's all electric. I know you're going to say blah, 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 blah. That's because you're used to that now, but not this space, not this product line, not this risk-taking. I mean, this is something that probably has some people laughing out loud, and you're probably going to be wrong about it. So they rolled out the all-electric F-150. You sell trucks. Okay, let's now step back and think of advertising strategy. If you want to play along, everyone, and let's just sit in a lecture hall, because I don't even know what I'm talking about with the Ford F-150. I don't know anything about cars. I don't. But I do know about strategy. And the strategy of this, to penetrate the market and be accepted, fully accepted, with a car that's already successful. Remember this, when famous business book once had a term called stick to the knitting. In other words, if you're in your lane and it's working and you're getting the returns you want, don't screw it up. Don't go new Coke when you have Coke, right? Somebody would say, whoa, it's the best-selling truck of all time, I think. Don't screw that up. I think a documentary about this discussion, about this rollout, and what went into it would be fascinating. A behind-the-scenes look at the back and forth, because somebody probably had to say, are you crazy? You're going to sell that truck to that guy in Midland, Texas? All electric? Joe Biden was driving that truck a couple days ago. We can't do that. And then somebody convinced him, let's do it. It's fascinating. So you sell trucks historically with function and testosterone, or testosterone and function, but the two of them work in any ad, right? That's part of it. Can you sell electric with testosterone? They're doing it. They're going to try to do it. Can you sell it to drivers in the South? And that's a whole interesting storyline by itself. So Father's Day is coming up. You're doing the gift boxes. Yep. So here's something that's certainly not tie or a sweater or a pair of socks. Not a bad idea.
Well, I think it's great if you don't know what to get your dad. I mean, get him some hot sauce. That way he can prove how much of a man he is, right? And this hot sauce will go great, and your dad will love it. So I think it makes a great gift box. You can go to our website and find those there. It come in packs of 4. It's a great box you just give to your dad and say, listen, here, Dad, thanks for being my dad. And it's not that sock that's just going to go in a drawer. It's not that gift card that's going to go in a wallet, never be used again. It's actually something he can share with his friends. And so I think it's a great idea.
All right, order a box now. It's atxhotsauce.com, atxhotsauce.com. So is this killing off gas-powered vehicles even faster than the death was coming before? I mean, this is one of those times, I think, business-wise, culturally, when you could say, you know what? We're going to shove you right over the cliff. You know, it was happening slowly or happening pretty quickly. We are going to be the one that just shoves you right over the cliff and says that it's it. Gas powered as you know it is gone. Is that what this is? I mean, is this that time when if you do ever take the time to look back and say, wow, my kid's never going to have a gas powered car. Never. Is this it? Is this when it happens? I think it's that important. I think it's that interesting. I think it's that culturally important. So there's a lot to this, and you can take this any number of ways. Is Ford betting its corporate life on this? That may be an exaggeration, but probably not far off. Can you imagine the battle behind closed doors about this? Or the strategy behind closed doors about this? The marketing effort by itself is fascinating. The timing. And there's no way they timed this as gas prices shot through the roof. But if you wanted to go Tom Clancy on me, you could say, yeah, well, maybe they were part of that pipeline hijack or something. If you wanted to go crazy, you could draw the comparison between making this launch, this all-electric F-150 launch, and betting the house on it. And at the time gas prices are going up, it's pretty remarkable too. It's probably just luck. But either way, the timing is impeccable. And the storylines sort of just keep coming. Is there political optics to this? Absolutely. Think about this by itself. And it hit me a couple of days ago. I'm on the treadmill. And I guess whatever afternoon show it is, the ranting show, the Biden sucks show, whatever these, the 5 or whatever it is in the afternoon. And this really hit me then. And I had really not even thought about it. I'm not a truck person. But they're making fun of it. So the story comes out because Joe Biden goes to Detroit and he drives the Ford F-150, which is scary by itself because I don't know that Joe can drive. It's probably not a great idea that Joe will be driving around. But Joe Biden drives it. Now that right there is risky. Think of the markets you're targeting. To them, Joe Biden's the devil. So I knew this because they're making fun of it and him on that Fox show. Now, that is not good PR. I realize the person watching Fox News at 4 o'clock in the afternoon is also the person that goes to Luby's and has the Luann platter. They go to bed at 6. I get it. Still, that just tells you what a risk that was coming with this. And the risk of even having Joe Biden show up to test it when you're selling trucks on testosterone is kind of a gamble by itself. And I guess we'll find out. So you've got this sort of cultural phenomenon. I mean, you can say you've got an environmental phenomenon. You've got a business phenomenon of saying we're taking a product line that has historically been marketed on testosterone, and we're going all electric, and we're even going to invite the devil Joe to come and drive it around. That's pretty risky. And oh, by the way, Elon Musk, we're coming for you, right? Elon Musk, who has a Cybertruck plant right down the road from where I'm sitting with a lot of taxpayer dollars, by the way. And all of a sudden, the world of Elon, and I'm not denying this, that I think the cars are great, the truck's probably great, and he is innovative, and he has taken us in a lot of ways to this space. But this tells you how the game is changing. They're coming for him, which is pretty interesting by himself. So the Pavlov's dog reaction by Fox News to Joe Biden driving the truck tells you, if nothing else, how risky this is. So here's the story for the car nerds. You can appreciate this. TheVerge.com. And the news is everywhere. And I think the news is everywhere because this is business meets culture or culture meets business in a pretty interesting time in our lives. The most popular vehicle in the United States is going electric. Ford has revealed the F-150 Lightning, an all-electric version of its popular pickup truck due out in 2022. The base model with 230 miles of range starts at $39,974, while the extended range version starts in the mid-50s and can go about 300 miles. Blah, 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 blah. There's the car nerd stuff. In other words, they're trying to make it look on every platform just like the gas-powered truck. And yes, they had a hybrid before, but for car nerds, this has got to be pretty significant. So it's, think about this. Put yourself in that spot. Put yourself in the advertising class, in the lecture hall. Wake up, by the way. Wake up. Okay, please wake up. And get off your phones. That's what we do. We say it probably 5 times a day in class. Put yourself in that position. One, the decision to roll it out with this car, your best-selling car, the best-selling truck, and it's been the best-selling truck for some time. Then you got to figure out we're going to do it. Then you have to price it. You have to design it, then price it, and then you have to figure out a way because you're going to be all over the NFL, right? The NFL, which is the last way to keep men watching television. Okay, my theory is until you have porn on TV, you're never going to have a critical mass of dudes watch anything except the NFL. So it's the NFL exists so you can sell ED drugs, beer, financial services, and trucks. Got it? That's why the NFL exists, and that's why the NFL is worth about $10 billion a year, because these product lines have to have a way to sell to men. The NFL delivers men unlike anything other than porn. So now all of a sudden you're at Ford and you realize we're going heavy up in the NFL season. We've got to sell that guy some trucks and we got to sell him an electric truck. And you heard about Joe Biden driving it. How do you sell that? I assume they sell it the same way. That's why it's important. The technology, the design, the price, the cultural issues, and then how you sell it. I think this might be that time when we say, I guess that is that moment that we said gas-powered vehicles goodbye. It's over.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios, JeffWardShow.com.